it's Rhea, wherever you are and whatever time it is, I hope you are enjoying yourself. So this week we are back to working in my sketchbook, and as you can tell by the title, I'll be doing fan art, but more specifically in like an easy and approachable way, at least for me. So fan art is something that, while I've enjoyed it here and there throughout the years, it seems like I'm always circling around the edge of it instead of like fully diving in, if that makes sense. So I thought it'd be good to try this method of fan art since it's pretty simple and helpful at the same time. Basically, the approach is that I am doing studies of people, like say off of Pinterest or somewhere, but instead of drawing the actual person in the study, I'm drawing a character that I would like to draw or do fan art of, basically. And I know this might seem simple to some of you, but it's because it's so simple that it works pretty well, at least for me. Oh my gosh, okay, random fun fact, I just spent like the past 5 to 10 minutes trying to get a giant eyelash stuck in the back of my eyelid out, and yeah, that was a fun, great time. Anyway, my soul was drained from that experience alone. What was I talking about? Oh right, okay, so yeah, this fan art method. Yeah, I'm sure it might seem like very basic, but it does help me out a lot, especially whenever I'm either new to drawing someone or I just want to like grasp drawing someone in multiple aspects. And I'm sure some of you are like, isn't that basically just using a reference to draw fan art? And more or less, yeah, it's pretty much in the same category, but how I think of it is like, when you get a reference to draw fan art, you already know who you want to draw. So you kind of are just looking for a reference to draw them as however you want to draw them, if that makes sense. Like, if you already have a character you know you want to draw, then you just look for a reference if you feel like getting a reference. Some people, or every now and then, I feel like people can, or at least they should try to draw without using a full reference. It's just a nice check-in to see like what you can draw without necessarily having to look directly at something all the time. And again, I mean it more in a way of like, say you start drawing a pose, and it's fine if you don't know an exact part of like, say, how maybe the arm might fully look or how the hand might fully look, but it's good to like try to draw it first and then see where to go from there. I've been trying to get in the habit of doing that more and more because like I said, it just shows how much you might have retained anatomy if you've been like really honing down on it lately, or if it's something that you want to improve at. You'd be surprised like the kind of poses you could draw just based off of the top of your head. And again, it might not be like perfect anatomically when you first draw it, but that's where you can either like, you know, take a picture of yourself doing the pose, or you can try to find a pose similar and then reference it. But when you have the blueprint down that you created from your own brain, like that's pretty cool. That's how you know you're growing in a way. Also, the fan arts that I am drawing, I guess I should talk about those as well. They're kind of like all across different franchises, because the first character that I started to draw was Jinx from League of Legends. I'll also go ahead and put the poses up that I'm drawing as well while I'm drawing them, so hopefully I put up the one for Jinx. And then the next character that I am currently sketching is Jiro Yamada from Hypnosis Microphone. And again, hopefully I've put up the reference image as well, because I talked about in my last video, I mentioned if it would be helpful for me to show the image of who I'm sketching whenever I'm doing like studies, or like, yeah, the reference. And you guys can let me know, you know, if you feel like it helped to see what I was drawing. If you don't care, it's either way is fine. You could probably even draw along to the same pose if your screen is large enough for you to see what the person what like the pose is. But either way, the next person that I am drawing is Zakuro from Tokyo Mew Mew, which is a old strong favorite of mine. I still have to finish watching the newer Tokyo Mew Mew a la mode, I think, or something like that, like the newer version. I think I got up to like episode 8, but I just forgot to continue watching the rest of the episodes, which is oftentimes why I try to wait for stuff to be fully out these days, because my attention span is just getting worse by the day. So if something is still running and I have to like check in each week for a new episode, unless I'm like super obsessed with it, it's highly likely that I'm gonna at least wait for a couple of weeks to go by so the episodes can rack up. That's what I did with Demon Slayer. I don't think I watched the 3rd season until like literally last month, so yeah. It was really good though. I already want to do like more fan art of it. The thing is like I was wondering if doing, because in the past on this channel I used to do, like, one way that I tried to push myself to do fan art more was I would take 3 characters or sometimes 3 people, like K-pop idols, and whoever like whoever's birthday was in a certain month, like each month I would pick 3 people's birthdays, and I would do fan art for that. So that's kind of how I did it in the past, but it was very it was very chaotic, and they were all time-lapse videos, and I don't know, like, I guess I'm kind of happy that I did that because it helped me break into fan art more, but I'm also like, I feel a certain type of way whenever it comes to fan art, and I think it's just me being too high-strung over like how things look, because drawing someone else's characters, I feel like it needs to look perfect, so it's really hard for me to get over that inevitable phase that every artist goes through, or anyone who's ever drawn anything goes through, where it's like, you know, you draw something and it doesn't really turn out how you want it to look, like it doesn't look as perfect as the original or whatever. One thing that's helped me get over that more is working in a quote-unquote throwaway sketchbook, which I've talked about before, but I feel like I've really come to love that, where it's just a sketchbook where no one has to see it. I don't have to post anything about it unless I really want to, but it's just, yeah, it's like my free domain to draw however poorly I want, and that's usually where I've been doing a lot of fan art in, because I find it a lot easier for me to get used to a character by sketching them first, and just, yeah, doing sketches really helps me like ease into the idea of doing fan art for a character. So if I haven't done that yet, then it's really hard for me to just draw a character as is, if that makes sense. It's like an icebreaker, or like a warm-up, I guess. It's funny how both of those sayings are kind of opposite of each other in terms of elements. Real quick, the next character that I am currently sketching is Yotasuke from Blue Period. Oh my gosh, I am probably about 10 chapters away from catching up to where Blue Period is currently at in the manga, so it's been a great time. I absolutely love this manga, and the anime was really good too, and I look forward to seeing how like more of the episodes, or like how the story progresses, because it's been really interesting so far, and I just feel like it's really nice to finally be able to consume content that I feel like I can directly relate to in such a strong way, since it's about art and artists. I feel like so many times, like, I think I'm reading the book is reading me because it's just so like spot on with a lot of the things that it touches on, and I love so many of the characters too. Like, it's just such a good time. One thing that I really wanted to do on terms of fan art and like moving forward and stuff, like, yes, I want to do fan art illustrations and stuff, but I also thought it'd be cool if instead of forcing myself to do an illustration for each person, like as a birthday thing, and then turning that into like a video where it's just a bunch of time lapses, I was wondering if I could just do like fan art themed spreads in my sketchbook, maybe, where like I talk about a franchise and how I think the series is, and I draw some of the characters. I thought that'd be cool to do, and it feels more me because it's a little bit more laid back if it's just some sketches, and I do like themed sketch pages as well, so I don't know, I think that'd be fun, and it could be fun to like look back on whenever I go to do like a sketchbook tour, or even just myself looking at my sketchbook. I think that'd be kind of fun to see like what I was rewatching at the time, or things like that. I don't want to go ahead and like say something and not commit to it, because that's usually why I try not to like say exactly what my plans are for upcoming videos, but I did want to maybe start with either Jujutsu Kaisen or Demon Slayer, since they're pretty popular, and I feel like it'd be fun. Plus, I feel like I haven't really done too much fan art for either of those, even though I do enjoy both of the series. But yeah, well, speaking of, actually, for Demon Slayer at least, the character that I am drawing right now is Mitsuri, Kanroji, and I love her so much. She's so She's just everything. My friends say that like she's very like we have the same energy, and they can see why I like her because she seems very much someone that I would like, or like someone that I kind of have like similar vibe to, and I don't know how to take that. I guess in a good way because I think that she's really precious. I like her whole aesthetic being based around like love and how like I get that it's cheesy, but she gives very much like magical girl energy, which for someone surrounded by demons and she's wielding a sword, like that's kind of badass. I don't really like how this drawing that I did of her turned out though. Like I don't know, sometimes this happens whenever you try to draw someone, but like the reference that you're using doesn't like it can work with who you're drawing, but it's like for some reason whenever you do the switcheroo thing where you're like, okay, instead of drawing this reference, I'm gonna draw this person as the reference, it just doesn't really work out like how you fleshed out in your head. That's kind of what happened here. But I don't know, I feel like this spread in general wasn't one that I was super excited about on terms of like how it came out. I think the overall result is kind of fun, aside from me like messing up Jinx's face, but I don't know, I feel like I've been kind of feeling a bit unstable lately in terms of art. I don't know, it's like I feel this sense of frustration because I feel like my output of work lately is not nearly what I feel like is my potential, and so I just feel kind of like disoriented from that. Like it's not like anyone's telling me that I need to put out this amazing work all the time, or I have to like anytime when I show you guys my art process it needs to be perfect, but I don't know, at the same time it's because I'm me and because I care about art so deeply and I want to improve and I want to enjoy it. It's kind of like one of those moments where your passion for something, because it's so great, it can end up being like your downfall. Like what's his name? Icarus flew too close to the sun. I don't know. I just feel like maybe because I don't have as much time as I wished to, like my lifestyle right now still feels like similar to how it is whenever I work full-time, where I have not as much time as I want to work on art, and if anything it might be even less time because there's a lot of days where I spend a little bit extra time on projects. If you think I'm meticulous with art, you should see how meticulous I am whenever it comes to design, because like oh my gosh, at some point I just need to walk away from it. But yeah, there's a lot of projects that I feel like are just going really slowly for me, and I kind of hate that because I don't know, I really want to do more for art. I don't know, it's very like frustrating, but I'm also trying to be patient and calm to myself so that way I don't like do something crazy, because I know if I can, I will very much end up overworking myself just to produce results, and I know that's not really a healthy train of thought. Also, the last character that I am sketching on the spread in the bottom right corner is Akali, also from League of Legends. Wow, we got 2 League characters in one spread, that's crazy. I mean, the funny thing is I feel like League was probably the most fan art that I did back in maybe like, I want to say late high school, early college. Like that was the most consistent I had ever like continuously drew the same fan art over and over again, because I always wanted to be like those people that can just like dedicate so much of their art to just fan art of the same franchise over and over. Like I love that. It sounds like people are having a good time, and I want I want to experience that too, but I don't know. It's probably not easy for me either because I love so many different franchises as well, and in each franchise there's like a lot of characters that I love too. Like in Haikyuu, obviously I love a lot of characters. In Hypnosis Mic, obviously I love a lot of characters. I don't know, it's really hard for me to just like pick one. I mean, I definitely can do that, or there's definitely characters that I gravitate towards wanting to draw more, but even so, at some point I'm gonna want to draw everyone, so it's always gonna get me in the end. With League characters specifically too, I've played League for a long freaking time, but I haven't really played it nearly as frequently in the past like couple of years, like since 2020. So I like at most I just do ARAMs because they're really simple and easy. Oh, we're getting into the coloring part actually, so let me just briefly explain that. I am coloring with a, what's it called? Water brushes. I have multiple different water brushes and I really enjoy using them. So yeah, I just kind of use them along with watercolor, of course, to color. And it's not really like, it's very like simple coloring. Like I'm not going too crazy. I'm kind of just having fun with it because that's just how I feel whenever I use water brushes. I don't know. It's a really enjoyable thing. I did use this random marker thing. It's one of the markers that I think I picked up in Japan. It's kind of like a, I wonder if it's like a, I don't think it's a water-based marker, but it's really nice with its ink and its like brush tip. I think I only used it for like that part of Yotaske's hair, but other than that, yeah, I don't think I use it again. But I do enjoy using the water brushes. I showed the first palette that I showed was the palette that I made on my own. Again, I hopefully in the future might like go over that in a video or something. And the other palette that was on the side is the kuretake palette that I've mentioned before. It's just the very basic one that has like a lot of the base colors, and yeah, that's what I use for a good amount of this as well. And it takes to the sketchbook pretty nicely. Like there's very small amounts of buckling, if any, and using the water brushes help with that as well, because it's like I can control how much water I use and just like small little areas. So I don't know, it's just really convenient, and I really hope to use these water brushes again and maybe highlight them in the future. It was funny though, because with Jiro's jacket, like I kept going back and forth on like what the right pattern was on the side, because where the blue was, I wasn't sure if that's where the white was supposed to be or what. But yeah, jersey jackets are always like, they're always a mystery to my brain sometimes. Like I think it's simple, but there's so many different like jersey designs. Is that, no, it's a bomber jacket, right? But varsity jacket, that's the word. Okay, yeah. To finish my train of thought from earlier, basically because I don't play as much League, I feel conflicted because there's characters that I really do adore just out of like playing them for a long time or just really enjoying their character aesthetic or like their lore or whatever, and it makes me feel like I need to play. I know I don't, right? Like I know that's not necessary, but because I like these characters so much, it makes me want to play the game just for them, and I know that that's not really practical because League is a very back and forth experience, and I don't know, I'm sure like it won't be that bad if I just continue to get back into it, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll keep you guys updated if you care, but even so, I will still try to continue drawing more of the characters here and there because I do really enjoy a lot of them. I think in my older sketchbook tours, like I always had a page, like a complimentary Ari page where I just drew only Ari on that spread. And I feel like another reason why I want to do more League fan art again is because I would often do fan art of them whenever I was like really trying to get back into art. So it's kind of nostalgic in a way, and I also want to see like how far I've grown. Unfortunately, this spread is not a good example of that. I don't think I drew Jinx or Akali well in this spread. I feel like lately when I've been doing traditional art of League characters, it's just not really working out. So maybe I need to do like digital first or something. I don't know, we'll see. But that's the issue. There's just so much fan art to be done of multiple franchises that I like. Fan art is just so fun and enjoyable too, like whenever you get the hang of it, because it's like, even if it doesn't look perfect, it's still just kind of fun because you can just draw your favorite characters in whatever scenarios you want. Like, it's very fun. So yeah, I thought this would be a good time for me to bring back up fan art as a discussion and talk about how I usually try to break into doing fan art. And yeah, this is pretty much like my prime way is through studies, because I don't know, I personally really like studies. I feel like they're a really nice go-to whenever I'm not sure what to draw. So every now and then, or usually whenever I do studies, I change some sort of aspect about whoever I'm drawing just by habit. Like I'll change like their outfit a little bit or some other physical characteristics, but overall, yeah, I'm pretty used to it. So using it for fan art is just another fun way to do that. And another thing that you can do if you want to get into fan art of a character is simply like screen cap redraws. It doesn't have to be like the full 16:9 frame either. It could just be like a quick snippet, like whenever you're watching an episode of something and you like a certain frame of like the way a character looks, you can just snapshot that. And then say if you have a collection of snapshots, you can do a little sketchbook spread and just kind of get used to how their style is translated into your style, if that makes sense. I don't know, I think it's another really nice icebreaker. But yeah, hopefully this could help shed insight on how I currently approach fan art. Let me know too if you guys have any tips and tricks for drawing fan arts, because I feel like it's a very common thing in people. I just don't really get around to it as much, so I would like to learn the ways of fan art. Gosh, I feel like I've been yapping forever now, but it's only been 20 minutes. But then again, I've been wondering if I should like have moments where I just simply let the silence be, you know, and maybe like come back at the end to do my typical outro. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with me talking or things like that, and I'm sure some people might actually not mind me talking for some reason, which just sounds crazy to me, but I just feel like the more I talk, the more I just feel like I might be annoying, and I know that if it's my channel I shouldn't really worry about that and I should just be my authentic self, but I don't know, I guess I'm only human, so I have those moments too where I'm like, oh gosh. You know what, yeah, let's try 3 minutes of silence and then I'll pop back in at the end and you can let me know if you preferred like just leaving in some silence every now and then, or if you would rather have me fill in every gap of silence so that way you're not left alone with your thoughts. But for now, yeah. Well, how was it? Did you feel restful? Did you have peace of mind while I was away? Oh my gosh. I would love to do proper fan art of all these characters, but especially Sakura, because I have had such a crush on her growing up. Like, it was insane. And even now, I'm like, wow, she really is so beautiful. I did not do her justice. I was kind of surprised that I was able to get colors that could work for Mitsuri's hair. Like, the green isn't really an issue, but trying to find a pink, I don't really have like a fluorescent pink in my currently opened watercolors. So I was just trying to see what would work by mixing stuff together, and it didn't come out too bad. I would love to do watercolor piece of Kanroji. She's very pretty. And then I used some other elements like the posca paint markers, as well as stickers and tape and stuff to try to bring the spread all together. And it's not perfect, but I will say it was like a fun time nonetheless. Hopefully this is just a rough break-in to me doing really fun fan art spreads. But in the meantime, let me know what fan art franchise you would like me to touch on first if you have any ideas. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed your time here today, please feel free to leave a like. If you're interested to see more of my content, you can always check out my other videos and subscribe. For reference, if you're new, I am Rhea, or Etheria, and I like making art and art-related content on my channel. I do post weekly videos, and if you'd like more timely updates, you can always check out my other social media linked in the description and also at the end of the video. Until next time, once again, thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I wish you a nice rest of your day, week, and new month. Happy April. Take care.